Okay, get this. The most talked about celebrity fashion moment, probably of the entire year, Zendaya's insane, futuristic, molten silver Louis Vuitton mini dress at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, that one. Unforgettable.
Well, sources are saying it wasn't really about the fashion house, not primarily anyway. It was actually sourced, designed, the whole thing to match one specific, really personal accessory she was wearing.
Wow. Okay, so like fashion espionage, but wrapped in shearling.
Exactly. Welcome to Starscope Report.
Join us, Jordan and Jamie, as we break down all the Hollywood drama, the music industry shakeups, influencer scandals, you name it.
From red carpet surprises like this one to those viral TikTok things, we really dive into the stories behind the headlines.
And today, yeah, we are doing a deep dive into the, honestly, meticulous strategy behind Zendaya's huge Louis Vuitton front row moment.
It really was something else.
Oh, absolutely. It was a masterclass, wasn't it? We're not just talking about, putting on a nice outfit.
Yeah.
The sources we've gathered describe this as an architectural image. That tells you something. It was complete composition, built with, like, laser focus.
I love that phrase, architectural image. It just sounds so deliberate, so complex.
It was.
Okay, before we jump fully in, let's tease what's coming up for you listening. We are absolutely going to unpack how her stylist, the legendary Roach, had to basically destroy the original runway look to make this work.
The strategic demolition.
We'll get into that bizarre but brilliant Ice Age versus Space Age thing going on with the outfit.
Right.
And maybe most importantly, we're going to uncover the really romantic but also super calculated reason this dress went from just, a brand ambassador doing her job to this global, deeply personal statement that basically owned Paris Fashion Week.
Exactly. This was way beyond just fashion. It was high-level strategic image building, period.
Okay, let's set the scene. September 30th, 2025, Louis Vuitton Spring-Summer 2026 show happening at the Louvre. Very chic.
Always. And our sources point out that the front row at these huge shows, it's often like the second show.
Right. Everyone's watching who's there, what they're wearing.
And when Zendaya arrived, it wasn't just attending. The reports say it was a declaration of intent. Her arrival defined the event.
And what really stands out to me from the sources is the sheer audacity of the main piece she wore.
You mean the coat dress?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was this thigh-skimming number from the Louis Vuitton Resort 2026 collection.
Which is key, right? A resort collection piece.
Exactly. Not even designed for the season they were showing or even the season they were in.
And what a piece it was. Can you describe that material? Because the way people wrote about it, it sounds almost like unreal.
It really does. It was this incredible, crinkly, metallic, silver fabric. Apparently, it caught the light in a way that just looked like molten silver.
Wow.
Turning iridescent as she moved. Utterly futuristic, like, liquid metal poured onto her.
But then, here's where it gets interesting. The duality you mentioned earlier. The actual cut, the silhouette, was sharp, right? Almost like a blazer. Very powerful.
Very strong shape.
Yeah.
But then running down the front, you had these soft, kind of sculptural bows, tiered bows.
A real contrast. And then the ultimate contrast, that plush, cream-colored shearling or maybe faux fur trim at the collar and the cuffs.
And that contrast is what created this paradox everyone was talking about. It was, as the headline screamed, fit for the Ice Age and the Space Age simultaneously.
Which sounds like a mistake, but it absolutely wasn't, right? That's the genius.
Oh, totally deliberate. Think about it. Wearing a heavy-looking winter-coated resort piece, something technically meant for like a fancy warm weather vacation next February and late September for a spring-summer show preview.
Okay, for you listening, how big of a risk was that really? Was she just hoping Paris would be cold, or was this just pure fashion flexing?
It was absolutely a power play. Pure flexing.
Yeah.
Conventionally, you wear something for the current season, maybe something from the collection they're actually showing.
Right.
By choosing a resort piece, wearing it so aggressively out of season and so early, she's basically saying, I make my own fashion calendar.
But the rules don't apply.
Exactly. I set the rules. It shows total command over the whole fashion system. And yeah, it creates that unforgettable visual clash we were talking about. Makes you look twice.
It definitely does. You can't forget it. But let's circle back to that architectural image phrase. For someone listening who maybe doesn't follow all the fashion jargon, what does that really mean in this context?
It basically means every single element was chosen with intense purpose, structurally chosen, from like the hem length, the shoe choice, down to the nail polish color. It
Wow.
was all designed to communicate one specific message or feeling.
Okay.
It's not just putting clothes together, it's constructing a public image, piece by deliberate piece.
Which perfectly leads us to Roach, her longtime image architect, and what the sources call his brilliant act of strategic subtraction.
Ah, yes. Strategic subtraction. Love that term.
Okay, another bit of jargon we need to break down.
Right. So if you look at how that coat dress was originally shown on the Louis Vuitton Cruise 2026 runway,
Yeah.
it was part of this whole high fantasy, almost literal Ice Queen narrative. The styling included really heavy accessories, these see-through, fur-lined, knee-high boots, and a big Snow White bucket bag. Very editorial.
Okay, I can picture that. Amazing for a photo shoot or the runway itself, but on Zendaya in the front row, maybe overwhelming.
Totally overwhelming. It would have swallowed her. The focus would shift entirely to the costume, not the
Okay.
person.
Right.
And that's what strategic subtraction is all about.
Yeah.
Roach looked at that full runway concept and decided, okay, what do we surgically remove? So the core statement piece, the dress remains powerful, but Zendaya becomes the undeniable focus.
So they stripped away all those heavy, kind of distracting runway accessories.
Completely. Got rid of the boots, the bag, all of it.
And what they replaced them with just streamlined everything. They went for these sleek, pointed toe pumps in a monochromatic quicksilver color.
Mm-hmm. The sources highlight how the shoes perfectly echoed the metallic sheen of the dress itself. Simple, elegant, sharp.
And that's genius, isn't it? Because like you said, a runway look sells the designer's whole dream.
Exactly, sells the fantasy. But a celebrity look, especially front row at a major show, needs to center the celebrity. That edit took high fashion and made it work for the global stage, making sure she wore the dress, not the other way around.
Okay, so outfit, shoes, handled. But what about hair and makeup? That also had to be carefully considered, right? Couldn't be too much.
No, it had to complement, not compete. And it did. It had this cool retro modern vibe, a deep side part, very sleek hair, but with the ends just slightly flipped up.
Like a little nod to maybe the 60s, but super modern.
Exactly, that kind of blend.
Yeah.
And the makeup was similarly balanced, strong, heavy pink blush, but paired with a softer mauve lip. Kept it fresh.
And the detail I love that the sources picked up on. The manicure.
Ah, yes, the subtle bubble bath pink.
A soft, almost unassuming pink nail against that powerful, futuristic, molten silver dress. That's the kind of detail that shows the level of thought, isn't it?
It really is. It provides that little bit of softness, a feminine counterpoint, stops the whole look tipping into, like, severe robot territory, keeps her human.
It shows they considered every single micron of the image. Just incredible.
Totally.
Okay, so Roach's strategic subtraction genius. The Ice Age versus Space Age paradox, unforgettable. But now, here's where it gets really juicy. The part that kind of proves that whole architectural image theory beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
All this effort, this incredible dress, the styling, it all apparently revolved around one single, tiny, sparkly object.
Yes, this is the core of it. The sources are really clear on this. Zendaya and Roach sourced the Louis Vuitton dress to coordinate with her Jessica McCormack sparkler.
Wait, say that again. They found the dress to match the ring, not the other way around.
Exactly. They built the entire look, this massive fashion moment, around the ring.
That is just next level planning. So the real centerpiece wasn't even the multi-$1,000 Louis Vuitton coat dress.
Nope. It was her engagement ring.
Hmm.
From the London-based jeweler Jessica McCormack.
Mm-hmm.
It's that signature east-west button-back style diamond ring.
And suddenly the styling makes even more sense.
Right. This is why the lack of other major jewelry was so critical. No big necklace, no statement earrings. That ring was deliberately kept on full display. It had to be the focal point. Everything else was just supporting cast.
This is such a masterstroke in what some reports are calling autobiographical dressing. It connects directly to her life.
Precisely. She first sort of subtly debuted that ring back at the 2025 Golden Globes, which basically confirmed her engagement to Tom Holland without a big announcement.
Okay.
But then, to take that personal symbol and make it the literal anchor for a huge multi-million-dollar brand appearance at Paris Fashion Week, that's a statement.
And why should you, listening at home, really care about this? Well, it brilliantly merges her professional life. She's a Louis Vuitton ambassador. She has obligations with her personal identity as a bride-to-be.
And the impact of that connection is massive, isn't it? The emotional resonance with the global audience skyrockets. And you saw it in the headline. They focused just as much on the metallic mini dress as they did on how it matches her engagement ring.
So she essentially got double the impact, fulfilled her LV duties beautifully, and created this huge, romantic, personal, highly shareable viral moment that amplified her private life story all in one go. She completely controlled the narrative.
Absolutely. Maximum media return on investment, you could say. It's this dual narrative strategy that adds a whole layer of romantic depth, which goes way beyond your typical celeb wears nice dresses story.
And speaking of strategy, this wasn't just strategic for her. It was apparently perfectly synced up with Louis Vuitton's own game plan under Nicolas Ghesquière, their creative director.
Yes, the synergy there was impeccable. If you look at the actual themes of the Spring-Summer 2026 show that day, they were all about illuminating finishes and sharp silhouettes, big focus on metallics and texture, and this idea of measured excess.
And her look ticked every single box. The metallic sheen, obviously, the sharp, almost blazer-like cut, the texture from the shearling. It hit all the Ghesquière notes perfectly.
Dead on. One report even said her look set the tone for the front row as much as the runway. She wasn't just attending, she was like a living manifesto for the collection.
Okay, living manifesto. What does that mean, simply?
I mean, she wasn't just wearing the clothes, she was embodying the whole design philosophy, the entire mood and direction of the collection before anyone even saw the main show. The perfect walking, breathing advertisement for where the brand was headed.
And the timing of this particular appearance also ramped up the impact, didn't it?
Oh, hugely. This was framed as her grand return. Remember, she's been an official house ambassador since 2023, and she typically reserves her Paris Fashion Week appearances only for Louis Vuitton.
Right.
So when she noticeably skipped their fall 2025 show earlier in the year, her arrival this time felt like a much bigger deal. LV even played into it. They released a little video teaser of her invitation the day before, building anticipation. They knew they had a moment coming.
This was definitely a calculated moment of asserting her dominance, too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget who else was there. That front row was stacked. Emma Stone, Ana de Armas, Sophie Turner, Jennifer Connelly, Lisa from Blackpink. Major stars.
Seriously, A-list?
Yet, consistently, the sources confirm Zendaya just stole the spotlight. She led the charge in all the media coverage afterwards.
And this moment, this look, it really signals a clear shift, an evolution in her whole style narrative, I think. She's moving beyond what people called her method dressing phase.
Where she dressed like her movie characters, like the tennis stuff for Challenger.
Exactly. Moving from that to this more sophisticated, deeply strategic, autobiographical dressing. She's using fashion now to define her own personal and professional story in real time.
It's really the highest level of celebrity image and brand management you can imagine.
It truly is. And the strategic value, especially of centering that engagement ring on a massive Louis Vuitton platform, it echoes way beyond just that one day.
How so?
Well, that brilliant move immediately kicked off all this third-order speculation. If the dress matches the engagement ring this perfectly,
Yeah.
what about the wedding dress?
Could it be Louis Vuitton?
Exactly. It planted the seed. People started wondering, speculating, which is incredible free marketing and buzz for LV, extending the value of her appearance indefinitely.
It makes you wonder, reading all this, if this kind of very deliberate personal reveal, blending the brand deal with the personal milestone, like the engagement is going to become the new blueprint for these big celebrity ambassadorships. Why issue press release when a stunning dress can announce it for you?
It's incredibly effective, no doubt, which I guess leads us to our final thought for you to mull over. Given this almost obsessive level of strategic coordination, the dress matching the ring signaling, the personal narrative, the timing, everything, should we maybe expect the actual official announcement of the wedding date, when it comes, to be delivered via another major Louis Vuitton fashion moment?
Wow, like maybe her next front row appearance or even a campaign?
Could be. That would be the ultimate culmination of this kind of image architecture, wouldn't it? Using the brand platform for the final reveal.
That would truly cement her and La Roach as the defining fashion strategists of this generation. Something to watch for.
Definitely.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.